Good morning. My name is Julie Davis. I'm with the Watauga County Arts Council, and I am going to be introducing you guys this morning to the Askews. This is Michael and Renee. They are currently participating in the show that we have hanging at the King Street Art Collective. They are a brilliant local couple of artists, a married couple, two artists in a household here. And we want to take a minute to introduce you to them and also invite you to come down to the King Street Art Collective and take a look at their work that's currently on display. And so you also get a little bit of context and get to know a little bit about them. So welcome, Michael and Renee.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's early and a little chilly out, but good morning. Sit down and talk. So I haven't actually met you guys in person. This is all of this show coordination has been mostly, email and virtual stuff. But I read in your bio that you guys met in art school in '87.
Yeah, but we're old. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were, Michael was an art student in sculpture at Auburn University, and I was an art student at the University of Tennessee. And that the summer of '87, we both took art classes at Arrowmont in Tennessee and up in the mountains, and that's where we met. So it'll be 34 years ago this July.
Nice. And then I also saw that you both have taught art professionally for quite a while. And Michael, your area is sculpture and pottery and that kind of stuff. And the pieces that are on display for us are all sculptural pieces. So can you tell us a little bit about that work and where you're at? And
Sculpture has been kind of here and there. A lot of those sculptures kind of evolve over time, and I'll start on them. And I think one of them that's over there now is one that evolved over like a 15 or 20 year period.
no.
Yeah, we moved a lot, and it would always wind up beside the house under the snow. And then dig it back out and spend some more time with it, and kind of get stuck again, and then find a solution and that sort of thing. So a lot of them just kind of work that way. Others went straight on, from start to finish. But I would usually just go from a sketch, sometimes about yay big, of something that I had, and sometimes they go from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional easy enough, but other times it doesn't always work.
Yeah. I'm familiar with that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you also have some experience and work with pottery as well, right? Now, we don't have any of that kind of work shown here for this show, but that's an area that you've worked in some.
Yeah, I was in that for a while. Built a Minnesota flat top kiln from scratch, and did that for quite a bit. But the sculpture and painting kind of drew me back away from that. But yeah, I still love it. But just the hands in the dirt part of it, really. And I found that everything that I am interested in doing is getting your hands dirty kind of things. And I think a lot of people relate to that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the tactile the can make it,
You're breaking up.
She's good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, I guess that tactile connection to the work, does it for a lot of people, that just directness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and Renee, I see that your background is in painting, photography, fiber arts, like a whole bunch of different areas all in one. But I know the pieces that we have in the show are all paintings and stuff. Some larger scale, some mid-sized kind of stuff. But tell us a little bit about your pathway and where you're at right now.
Sure. And one thing Michael won't say is he's also a really good painter. So I just wanted to make that mention that he does
In there.
he does watercolor, he does oil and acrylic, so he's a really good painter too. But anyway, yeah, I started actually when we met at Aeromont. He was in some painting, I was in some pottery, and then I also took a 2-week paper making class, and so.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed that just because of the added texture, and then would dye the paper and paint on that. And so I like mixed media in general, just having the freedom to like write in a painting, do some calligraphy, add papers. Is sometimes they just come to life though with layers of acrylic.
Mhm.
Because just like Michael was talking about with sculpture, sometimes you start out with an idea and maybe it turns out okay, but then you go, it changes. Like he might carve more in a piece, or I might add a second layer to a painting, or a third or fourth. And with each layer, you get more of that underneath texture coming through, and little bits and pieces of it. So it kind of
Mhm.
feels like it has a lot of depth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah.
And then I also saw where you guys have done some work abroad and traveled quite a bit for humanitarian causes and stuff. If you want to talk a little bit about that, that was very interesting.
Sure. Yeah, we both worked in Cambodia for 2 months, in children's homes and safe houses, and some of it was just very practical, building fences and teaching English and new work skills. But we also did some art in that and helped develop products to sell online, because they were making handmade products to sell. And Michael taught some guitar, and so it was a really intense couple of months, but we loved it. I also worked in Thailand, Ukraine, and Costa Rica. And then some of the teaching abroad, though, was in the Netherlands. I taught
Mhm.
music school there for 2 different years. And yeah, so a lot of what I call it creative release, just to get people started off with kind of like finger painting and coloring with crayons. Adults, people that haven't maybe they're afraid to work on a canvas or have a blank sheet of paper, and so I would just
Right.
like Michael was talking about with the textile type feeling. So I would put finger paints and all these sorts of things just to be like little kids. And then from there, once they broke through into, not being nervous about using the materials, then we would go on and do some painting. And so, yeah, my favorite thing was doing unity paintings. That's what I called it, where I would make really large canvases. And I did that in Charlotte and other places in this country too, but have
Mhm.
everybody work on one big canvas, and so that everybody could see that they were bringing a part of themselves, and they didn't have to be responsible for the whole piece. But the neat thing was that it would always end up being a theme, not one that we planned, but it would just kind of all work together. And
Nice.
yeah, yeah. So I guess seeing people discover their creativity is probably my favorite thing. Discover
Yeah.
have gifts and talents that they don't think they have.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I know I taught children for about 4.5 years out of my home,
Oh
and
wow.
it's really intense to watch them kind of release fear and be okay with their materials and
Yeah.
not not be so connected to the end product and just enjoy the process and stuff. And it's interesting how much even adults carry all that with them, that where they feel like they've got to have a thing at the end, instead of enjoying the process while they're in it. So
And there's something about kind of like becoming a kid again with that freedom. But then, yeah, then you're right. If they have something they can take home with them. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Well, everybody loves going home and showing everybody the cool thing they did.
Yeah. Well, and we've done just demonstrations at schools, and Michael did a demonstration at the art cellar, carving stone, and that's fun, especially because when there's chunks of stone flying.
love that.
Yeah, the kids especially love that. And pottery
Everybody
demonstrations.
loves that.
Yeah. But he's taught more in community colleges, and then I've taught at like women's conferences, workshops, and then overseas. So just kind of a variety, and then in our home. So it's just been sort of scattered throughout all our time together.
Yeah, it was a very, very interesting part of my art journey. I tell you what, it was profound, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I know my husband, we met at Chief Joe's. He's an artist, not professionally anymore, but like, so I'm kind of used to what it's like having two artists in the same space. But what's it like for you guys? You know, some people are always curious, like, are you competitive and you fight for material and stuff like that?
I don't think so.
No, we don't really compete. Our work is pretty different anyway, so it's not like we feel like we've got to outdo each other. So nothing there really. It's just a shared space is kind of a thing, but we make it through it.
Yeah, and I think we're pretty honest though. Like if he has a beautiful sculpture he finishes and then he just wants to be done and he throws it on a base that's not wonderful, I might say that deserves a better. Or if I make a painting and he thinks it has too much white in it, so we're honest with each other.
Yeah, I think it's a popular kind of misconception that artists are so much more cutthroat than they actually are. Because I don't really know any, artist couples that are just like,
No.
tit for tatting it. That everybody's pretty, like honest and open about what they're doing and wants to share it with their partner. So
Yeah, and I would say we're probably pretty big cheerleaders of each other. I like what he does. He likes what I do sincerely. So that's, and it's kind of funny. Michael has this theory that over time couples start to look like each other. And I think I've heard that before. We have some paintings we've done recently in separate rooms. And when you put them side by side, you can't tell who's done it. So I wonder if.
No way.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something to that. But.
Well, yeah, my husband and our work is so completely and totally different. I can't imagine that. That would probably take an evolution of 100 years.
Yeah, but it's, we've taken turns over the years. Sometimes like he does custom woodworking, like furniture and crown molding for people. There are times that I've had what we call it like straight jobs or other types of work. So, we've just kind of taken turns doing that over the years, depending on what's going on. Prior to the 2008, we were selling a lot more, but then after that happened, had to do other kinds of work. So
Yeah,
I think that's
here with
everybody.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I remember those days, but yeah. Well, I am glad that you guys are working, and I'm so happy that you guys, chose to participate in the show. And were so, helpful in helping us put it together and stuff like that. So I encourage all of the viewers out there to please come by the King Street Art Collective. We are right on King Street across from the Jones House. We are on the street level above Doe Ridge Pottery. So come by. The show runs for just a couple more weeks, and we hope that you'll come by and enjoy and take it all in and get to see some great local artists. So thank you guys for your time and being willing to do this. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was good to talk to you.
Yeah, good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation to the show. We've been
our pleasure.
great feedback. So thank you.